I think age has some important factors in play this as well. I know I want to need to zoom, so yeah.
When I was young, I used to dream of being rich. Having a lot of houses and cars, couldn't know which one was which. And finding me a chick and getting hitched. Living the fairy tale life, perfect without a glitch. You think that this will bring me happiness? If at the end of every rainbow there was a treasure chest. Sometimes having more is really less. Take a look inside yourself.
Your face well beat.
I know, true.
I'll Kaurice. Me really care, alright?
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of
Real Talk.
This is
Ephraim.
Zhane.
Jesse Q.
Kaurice, your boy who's not your boy.
So today we'll be talking about how long is too long to wait to get married, before and after engagement. So yeah, who wants to start with?
Not me.
I say Ephraim should start first. How long is too long?
Well, it depends because then too, you see, because other will be giving you a timeline, so you'll be feeling rushed with certain things. So once you're feeling comfortable to me, you must know the right time because you can't rush things. You're trying to make everything perfect for yourself because she will want certain things done a certain way. So to me, once everything moving smoothly and everything going to plan, say roughly 2 years to make the perfect wedding.
So
That's
after engagement.
That is
After
engagement.
engagement.
Oh,
After
okay.
So
engagement.
before engagement.
Before engagement? Well, it depends on people because certain people will meet their quote unquote zing or love at first sight, if you call it like that. Like if you meet somebody and you fall in love automatically and could see yourself being with that person for a very long time. It depends because some certain people could be in a relationship for only a year and get married the next year. So it depends on how you feel about the person.
So what I was saying, I think age plays an important factor because you would hear couples saying that they were together 8 years before they got married, but the thing is they met each other since secondary school. So that is what makes up the 8 years. But honestly, I think as a grown person, 3 years is a good number to get to know somebody. I also think that you should be in the same surroundings as the person and not wait until you get married, because then it's when you find out things about the person that you would not like them leaving clothes all over the place and not being very clean. So I think that's also very important as well. So I think 3 years is a good number, 2 to 3 years, because if you do spend a lot of time around this person, try to do it every day, close to every day, then you will find out things about them that you would like to know. So 2 to 3 years before engagement. I obviously think after engagement a year max, because I think it takes a year to decide everything. For me, I'm very indecisive. So if I give myself over a year, I would come up with so much different things and change my mind so much times that more than a year is too much time, because I would just find all kind of craziness to be doing.
Yeah,
so I
Bill
think a
Gates
year
daughter.
is that. I think a year is perfect.
Talking like wedding is 50 cents.
Well, if it was, you wouldn't need a year.
I first of all don't think that there's a set time. I think it depends on the people. I think it depends on the relationship and where you are at that point in your life. I agree with Zhane that your age plays some kind of factor, but a little different from what she said. I think it plays a factor because I know if I'm a bit younger, I might be more forgiving of, how long it takes. If I'm a bit older, not really. And for the people out there who want to have children and saying, I know that's a big thing for women, you want to have children and stuff and you don't want to be waiting and your biological clock just ticking, right? So for those women, that could be a factor. So age does play some sort of role, just because I think you'll always have more lenient when you're younger, right? Personally, I don't think that it necessarily has to be a set time. I think if you love the person and you're sure, you have to know that you're sure. You have to know that this person really is the one for you. Then do it. We're waiting on. You have one life to live, so live it. I would suggest, however, for everybody to do premarital counseling. Learn what you need to learn before you get married. Have them tough conversations with, unbiased party before you get married, so that you have a little bit of a better chance of, things. Because marriage not easy now. After you get engaged, I think it depends, right? I have always wanted to kind of take my time, but I've also been kind of rushy. Let me explain. You see, if I want to get married and get a house built and all of that, I obviously know that it's going to take a little bit more time, so I can take my time then. If it's not a case like that where, it's just get an apartment, just get an apartment and you're moving, then please, we don't need to take 1,000,001 years for this. And then I'm not necessarily the best person to ask this, because I don't really want no big wedding. I don't want none of them hoopla. I just want to get married, have a wonderful honeymoon, and live with my husband.
Eat pizza.
Exactly. Right? So I know my planning time would be different than a lot of normal ladies. So, but I don't think there is a specific time. I just really wanted to find out what everybody's take on this one was. But I don't believe it taking 1,000,001 years. I know whatever the time is not long. I'm done.
My take on this is, right, first to begin, see me and come live with me is two different people, right? A lot of women, more so than men, are caught up with the notion that there's an age in which you should be married and these different things. To me, it's a psychological brainwash that they have put into females from a very tender age, doing to yourself, you have to get married, you have a husband, you have to do this and that, else you wouldn't be a woman, quote unquote. Getting engaged is, well, as they say, one part of it, like a tier, so to speak, in the levels of advancing in life and whatnot. So the engagement aspect of things, I want to drag out the talk too long now, because this could go in many different directions. The engagement part of things, I think once you all have a mutual understanding of each other, likes, dislikes, all your comforts, flaws, shortcomings, these different things, and you all reach that mutual understanding, and also have an understanding of development together, right? Meaning, future, right? House, kids, these different things. Because it has some people are stuck in an infatuation phase for way too long, and then when they finally come out of it, it is too late, right? So I would say about 3 to 4 years, like steady, not broken apart, because they could be in a relationship, peace, and then say, well, I know him for 5 years. You don't really know him for 5 years. He was probably in his space 2 or 3 years out of the 5 properly, right? If you're in somebody's space consecutively for like 4 to 5 years, you could probably pop the question. After popping the question, depending on your financial state, because getting married is not cheap, right? Especially if you have one of them extravagant wives or women who want that kind of fairy tale wedding and them kind of chalala chillily, right? But also keep in mind, divorce isn't cheap as well, right?
Divorce more expensive than getting married.
True.
Well, yeah, but probably on the same wave, like depending on your income, because you have to declare most of your assets and all these different things. So put this in mind before actually going through with the whole process. You understand? A lot of people just think for the now, as I continuously say, and they don't think for future reference. So after engagement, so that's what, 4 years, 4 to 5 years I get for engagement. After engagement, I would say about a year and a half tops. If within that year and a half you realize things really ain't making sense, don't go through with it, my brother. Just for the sake to say, oh, I'm married, she, or if only have a child, well, I just married she because of the children. Them thing is bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? That's rubbish. You just
wanted somebody got night anyway.
You're just wasting money because that 200,000 or 150,000 you're spending to pull off that wedding and that honeymoon and that whole facade, you could invest it in something for you and your child and these different things. So know what you're doing, my brothers. You understand? Do not be bamboozled by the pum and by the pressures of life and in-laws and these different things. Because when you married, it's you and she, not you and them. You understand what I'm saying?
Man.
So yeah.
Rich brother Kaurice.
Pull your shit together, dog. I talking for the fellas here.
I have to
Because you know you're weak fellas. Alright.
He lied, but I have to interject. So there are some points that I totally agree with.
Right.
You know, making sure that things good before you decide to take that step and whatever.
Right.
Sure. Marry the person for the person. You know, you ain't marrying the family. I get that.
Correct. We disagree.
But if you make me wait 4 to 5 years to pop the question,
right,
and then pop the question and decide it ain't working out, listen to me.
So in 4 to 5 years you just happen to horn me.
Listen to me. Here's what I believe, right? Horn, you're doing things for the family's sake because gosh, we have a child, we should just get married. You see them thing? I don't believe in them thing. If you know that's how you feel, leave. Leave the person alone.
You could say that.
I'm telling you how I feel.
If you're a nice girl grow up in the ghetto thing, you bounce up on a man who get a windfall, insurance money thing nice. You feel you studying that? You studying the man windfall.
If I am marrying for money, it is very different. That's not the conversation I'm talking about. I'm talking about if I'm marrying for love.
No, we had to put all of this in the conversation.
No, I think that's a different conversation.
How is it?
We were talking
about genuine love here?
We will talk about it next.
No, I'm just asking.
Yes, I'm talking about genuine love.
Right.
I'm not talking about marrying for convenience or for money. I'm talking about genuine love. So if you seriously in a
there's a
relationship,
point after love which is foolishness, eh?
that is fair.
Alright.
No, but all of that brings it back to my point.
Okay.
So if we in a serious relationship and you know it's not going anywhere and you still there have me trotting along, thinking that it's going somewhere, and then all of a sudden you decide, nah, this ain't making sense. That's wasting my time. If you know it's not going anywhere, people say it one time. Don't waste people's time out here because nobody has time to waste.
But if it's like a dawn on you in the middle of it.
Yeah,
So between 4 to 5 years, it couldn't dawn. It couldn't dawn then.
No, but you see the thing with that is, right, and what a lot of people just forget. We as human beings, we are always evolving and changing mentally.
Yep.
Right? So how I may feel about you today is not how I go feel about you tomorrow or even 5 minutes from now.
That is fair.
Right?
And I'm not saying that those things don't happen. That's fine. No
Yes,
problem. Let it happen. All I'm saying is don't expect the person to be okay with it or be happy about it.
Well, we wouldn't
So
expect
it might happen.
You wouldn't expect them to be, but I'm just saying it should
I
be.
just find that real strange.
It is.
Why is strange?
No,
It is
because you there 4 to 5 years, you get to know this person, you decide to buy a ring, build a future, do all of this, and between that year and a half period, you just.
But it does have people who engage for, let me say 8 years, and they're married for a year and then divorce. Why?
That's fair.
So what happened to the 8 years?
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know. Things just happen.
Yeah.
I guess this brings it back to what he was
Mentally,
saying.
you don't know what could go on.
After love is foolishness.
Correct.
I guess.
It's have a stage after that, but I'm going to say it.
What is?
Go leave that for the next video. I want you tuning again.
This is our first mixed review.
Yeah.
Real talk, where we all have different opinions about this one topic.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, it's up to you and the person that you're with.
Correct.
Something that we always talk about in all our videos is communication. And that is honestly what it comes back down
if
to.
you love me more than I love you and all I'm gonna do.
Say it. Right? If you're not comfortable, say it. If you know you don't want to marry the person, say it.
No, but what I'm saying is, how you just measure how much if you love me more than how you
Let
measure
me tell you
that?
something. In our relationship, there's always one person that loves the person more than
Is it really love?
Exactly.
It is.
I think
Ask it, I don't know.
this
Because
is the next
sometimes,
topic.
that's a bit, I don't want to, because sometimes.
Because you
can
could branch into so
force-
many. Yeah, that's true.
force to say.
You could branch into so many things from this.
For real, let me know. I want this to be a separate topic. Anyway, right. So at the end of the day,
Communication.
It is communication.
Again.
Yes, and you just
One
have to
second.
make sure that you and the person are on the same wavelength, that you all agree to whatever the plan is. Because if one person thinks the plan is one thing and another person thinks it's something different, or they're looking to butt heads, there's a fight right there. You ain't making sense. Communicate, right? But I don't think that there is. Oh, I should say we don't think that there is a hard and fast rule as to how long it should take for you to get married. If you don't want to get married, that's up to you as well. All power to you. You by yourself, but okay.
Nah, don't say by yourself, because have people married more lonely than people out there. Anyway.
True, gosh.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's a very topsy-turvy kind of thing. It's a married woman here. They don't know nothing about the husband, the whereabouts. So they're probably in the same house and have no communication going on.
True.
I just making this thing real difficult, boy. Well, have we done it yet? So we go done the real talk. Communication yet again is the key to everything between man, woman, child, animal, place, or thing. That's a given.
Yes.
Right.
Alright.
Alright. God.
It was going good.
Yeah. Downhill. Rapid.
Alright guys, so this has been another episode of Real Talk with
Ephraim.
Zhane.
Jesse Q.
Kaurice, your boy who is not your boy.
Bye.
This one I better do with the jabba.